Hi, my name is Tavy May. I am a survivor of abuse, I guess. My dad was abusive, and this is my story, or this is part of my story. I'm gonna try to talk a little close to the camera because it's nighttime and everyone's sleeping or trying to sleep. I'm not dressed up or anything like that because this is a pretty serious topic. I'm going to talk about a couple times where I really thought my life was in danger by the hands of my stepfather. The first story, I was about 12 or 13, and it was one of the last times my stepdad put his hands on me. I remember I was in trouble for something. I had did something bad, and so I was in punishment. I was in my room. I was not allowed to leave my room. That's fine. But then my dad called me down and my brother down, who was not in punishment, to do the dishes. And he has OCD, as do I. And so he's very, very anal about how we wash dishes. And so my brother would wash, I would dry, and put them away. So me and my brother were cracking jokes as we were washing dishes, and he was making me laugh a little too hard, and my dad didn't like it because I was on punishment. I was not allowed to have fun. And so he came and he choked me in a full Nelson, like where he had me like this and then tied tight. Like I could not breathe, I could not move, and all I remember was the looks on my brother and my mother's face. They were terrified. They could tell that I couldn't breathe, that depending how long he held me for, I could pass out, I could die. The look of panic on their faces made me so scared. I still have those images seared into my brain. My dad has done a lot of stuff to us. So when he does shit like that, we're not fazed by it. So to see how scared they actually were for me, that they couldn't do anything about it because he's strong and he has me in this chokehold. I'm the type of person where I like to crack jokes, but some things you just can't joke about. This is going to be a really hard video for me to make because, to be honest, I rarely cry for myself. I feel that I need to let it out, but it just stops. Like I almost just cried thinking about their faces, how they just were terrified, but I can't cry for myself sometimes. And today the goal of this video is to cry for myself because what I went through was horrific. I could have died. I could have been murdered. I could have killed myself. I could have killed others. And yet none of those things happened. I came out for the better, I guess. That was one of the times where I was afraid for my life. There was another time. See, the thing with my dad is when he would get drunk, he couldn't stop. But my mom, she is a heroin addict, and so sometimes she would have to be hospitalized for long periods of time because of stuff like staph infections and stuff like that. Just your health really deteriorates when you do a lot of drugs, especially IV drugs. So my mom was in a nursing home, and it's funny because DCF was actually in our life at this time. And my dad my stepdad, I'm gonna call him my dad because he's the only dad that he raised me. That's my dad to me. He had full custody of us for the time being, and we were living in a motel because we were moving back from Maine back to Connecticut, and I was about 10, 11 maybe, and we went to Burger King, and he asked for no pickles. For some reason, he hates pickles on his burger. And when we got back to the motel, he realized they put pickles on his burger. So he threw the burger at the wall, went off on a tangent. He then got into the shower, and the curtain rod fell, and he cut himself in the shower. Then he got out of the shower and forced us to watch him shoot up. He showed us the method to how to use the spoon, how to light it, how to put it in the needle, how to insert it. He taught us for whatever reason. And then he started to drink after that. I don't remember what sent him, but something sent him. And he got angry with us, and he beat us, both me and my brother, because me and my brother had to sleep on one bed, and he slept on the other bed. And he beat us so much that we fell in between the bed and the AC. If you guys know what a hotel looks like, you can imagine what that looks like. We fell in between that bed and the AC. And I just remember him going like this, gouging our eyes out, like showing us how much he could hurt us. And see, when my mom is around, usually she puts her body in between our dad and us, but she wasn't there to save us that time. And I had no idea what he was capable of. I was terrified. I was terrified for me. I was terrified for my brother. Those are only two of many, many stories. I was showing my fiance some of the songs I used to listen to when I was in those dark times. I'm gonna play a couple because I could have lost my life. I forget sometimes how the severity of my situation up until I was about 12. That's when the abuse really stopped. But the verbal abuse never stopped. I may have gotten older and bigger and stronger, but his words got harsher and harsher, and things he said, that's a whole other topic. He would even abuse our animals. I remember one time he chased my cat around with a broom, trying to beat her with it, and she was so scared she shit everywhere. Like she was running and shitting. I remember another time, my mother was in a nursing home, and we lived on Shelton Ave. And the house was really, really creaky. And if you have a creaky house, you know sometimes it just makes noises. But my dad heard this noise and thought someone used the bathroom without permission. Now, to give context, my brother has ADHD, and it's very, very hard for him to sit still. He suspected one of us sneaked out of our rooms because we were in trouble and used the bathroom without his permission. He looked in my room, he saw that I was still stiff, and then he looked in my brother's room and seen that my brother was like twitching, fidgeting around, and figured, oh, you just came back from the bathroom. And I just remember the sounds of my dad beating my brother, and my brother crying, and I felt paralyzed. I felt like I couldn't help him. I felt like I wasn't strong enough. I was a baby. I don't remember how old I was. I could have been 8, 9. Hearing my brother get abused from the other room, that shit still haunts me at night. I was afraid for his life. These are stories I don't really like to talk about because I can't joke about them. I can't joke about them. They're not funny. I haven't cried in a long time, so I'm gonna use this as a fucking thing that we have a washer and dryer, so fucking we're able to wash it after. My dad, for some reason, he favored me and hated my brother. My brother got the harsher treatment. I remember one time I had a sleepover. It was my first sleepover. My friends came over, but we told scary stories and they got scared and they wanted to leave in the middle of the night. So their parents came and I had to walk them downstairs. And my dad lost his shit. I don't even know why. He was like, "Sis, Tavy, what did you do? Why did they want to leave?" I tried to explain, but he just pulled me by the hair, yanked me around, and threw me across the house. It terrified my friends. They called DCF. This was before he choked me. No, before he choked me and before the motel incident, actually. Right before the motel incident. The abuse was getting worse and worse. My brother, my battery is getting low, so maybe this will be a short video. My brother would wake up to my dad hitting him, kicking him. He would wake up to knives to his throat. My dad has spit on me. My dad has kicked me. My dad has hit me. He has ripped clumps of my hair out of my head that will never grow back. He has done this in front of people. He has done it behind closed doors. He has held a knife to my stomach. And most of the times it was just because he was drunk and bored and angry or lonely. I don't know why nobody helped me. I don't know why nobody came and rescued me. I could have died. I wanted to die. I was suicidal. I guess I don't even have to listen to the music to make me cry. I thought I couldn't cry for myself. I could have been. Oh, I got a snot bubble. I could have been. I don't even remember the cases. I could have been Casey Anthony. I could have been the Menendez brothers. I could have been Gabriel Hernandez. I think that's his name. I could have been any of them. And the worst part is whenever I would tell my mom, or try to tell my mom, because sometimes she didn't know the severity of what he was doing, because a lot of the times when he would do the worst, my mom was not around. She wasn't around to put her body in between me and my dad. My brother never stood up for me. Nobody stood up for me. I was silenced. My dad taught us to keep it in the house and don't tell anyone because DCF will take you and your brother and you guys will never see each other again. And you love your mom, right? It would break mom's heart if they took you. They'll separate you. Remember, you have straight A's. You're a good student. I'm raising you right. This hurts me more than it hurts you. I remember every night, the abuse, and every morning, The fucking apology. The bullshit. The bullshit apology. I'm just doing my best. I'm playing the hand that I was dealt. I told my dad some of the stories of what he did to us, and he doesn't even remember. Yeah, he doesn't even remember. And what I would tell him, he would say, sis, honestly, can we not talk about this? Because I know it hurts you, but it hurts me to hear. It hurts you to hear. I went through it. I have images burned into my brain. I have sounds burned into my brain. I'm still afraid of the dark. Everything reminds me of him. The most fucked up part. I love him. I yearn for my father. I want him to be proud of me. I want him to love me. I want him to hug me. I want him to be there for me. Why? Why? He used to tell me I'm fat. He used to tell me how ugly I was, how useless I was, how no man would ever want me unless it was for sex. He tore me down. He hit me. He did everything. I'm trying to think of more things he's done. Anytime a boy would show any interest in me, he would humiliate me in front of them. I remember I had a huge crush on my brother's friend. And he was helping me with science or math or fucking something. But we were just innocently sitting in my room and going through the notebook and making jokes and laughing. And my dad was drinking that night, and I wasn't listening for the footsteps, so he caught me off guard this night. Usually I listen for the footsteps, but he caught me off guard. And he saw us just doing fucking math, and he got angry. And he ripped my hair. He pulled me and threw me around the room. Scared the shit out of my brother's friend. He never looked at me again. He would make me come downstairs and rub his back because my mom didn't do it good enough. Mind you, he slept with a machete underneath his bed because he was terrified we'd kill him, and I would have. If I thought I could kill him and be stronger than him, I would have. I'm still mad I didn't. I could have got away with it. Or I would have been Gypsy Rose and got like 7 years. I don't fucking know. I'm still angry with myself. I shouldn't be. I love him. It's very confusing. It's very conflicting. And I know a lot of people are going to ask why I don't hate my mom, why I don't hold my mom accountable. My mom, it's a whole nother cross to bear. I'm not there yet. She's the only family I have. My brother became my abuser too. Not physically. He would only put his hands on me if I beat him a little too much, because I put my hands on him. I put my hands on others. I fell down that cycle. My brother was very verbally abusive. My mother was just neglectful. She told me that it wasn't that bad because my dad would never sexually assault me the way she has been sexually assaulted. And that's why she never left. That's why she still stays with him. I understand. I just wish we could get out of the cycle. I cried for myself a little. I didn't cry for myself enough. I don't feel like I haven't. For some reason, I just can't let it out. I'm trying my best. I just can't get the weight off my fucking shoulders. Maybe telling these stories, maybe not joking, being raw, real. I hope this reaches someone out there, because for a long time I thought that shit was normal. The only way I knew it wasn't normal was through music, was through friends. Abuse is not normal. Verbal, physical, sexual, emotional torment, all of it. Abuse is abuse. Just because you're getting one and not the other, or a couple but not all of them, does not make it any better. I always justified it by saying, he's never sexually assaulted me, so I must be like, okay. That man, I don't know. No abuse is okay. No abuse is normal. If any of these stories resonate with you, get the fuck out. That's all I can say. The system might not be better, but it might. I don't know. I have no advice. I'm still going through it, my damn self. I had a lot of family, friends to help me along the way, to save me, to give me places to live for short periods of time, because my dad always forced me to come back, and the police, the DCF workers, they all brought me back. Every single time. Some people had an idea that this house seems off, but nobody really knew or knows the full extent of what happened in that house. It was a house of fucking horror. And I still relive it every fucking night. Thanks to my dad. Now I'm gonna go take my meds, maybe watch some good TV. I don't know, I'm gonna post this video. I'm not gonna fucking edit it. I'm not gonna watch it back. You guys take it or leave it. I don't really care. I just need to start getting shit off my chest. And now that I have my podcast stuff, I'm ready to get it the fuck off my chest. And fuck you to my dad. I hope the guy that snitches on you finds you. Good night.